Greetings, my fellow eagles and the entire world. This is Eagle Emmanuel Mensah with inspirations and guidance from Eagle Helen Mensah in the unseen world, coming into your homes and your minds with a message of empowerment and enlightenment. Today is the 16th of August in the year 2024, and the Bible says this is the day the Lord has made. And for that matter, we should rejoice and be glad in it. And so I take this opportunity to invite the whole world to join me to give thanks to God for the day that He has granted unto us and life in general. Life is beautiful, life is wonderful, life is glorious. Life is God Himself, flowing through all things, including mankind. Today, I'm going to speak to you on the topic, judge not by the appearances. I repeat, judge not by the appearances. This is a Bible verse that can be found in the book of, or the Gospel according to St. John, chapter 7, verse 24. This verse is very popular, well known in the Christendom. Even people who are not Christians, but live amongst Christians, knows or are very much aware of this verse. But do we really put it in the right perspective? And so I am speaking under the theme, deliberate thinking. Mastering the art of deliberate thinking. And this statement made by Jesus Christ is a typical demonstration of deliberate thinking. Thinking and doing things the way you want them to be, but not as it is. As human beings, we are more or less judges that we are making or we are passing judgment over things. Every circumstance, situation that comes before you, you are called upon as a judge to make a judgment. And so the righteous judgment is the one that look at the situation, though horrible, but deliberately think over it the way he or she wants to see it in the future. And therefore, he makes a righteous judgment. He does not actually describe what is happening, or he doesn't confirm what is happening necessarily. But knowing very well that he or she is a creator and must be deliberate, he think and thought and pass judgment about the current situation, not as it is, but the way he or she wants it to be. So if you look at the character of Jesus Christ as a human being that walked on earth here, Jesus Christ was always going against the normal way of life, the traditions that they were holding. And as a matter of fact, this verse, it was made after there was an incident on a Sabbath day. Jesus taught in the temple and he was confronted. And he also gave them what he thought was the right thing, but not to look at the appearances, laws, and all these things that were given to us. We intentionally or consciously, take some out, and then we hold on to those that we think they serve us. But as a matter of fact, those things were only relevant to those that it was given to them at that time. But in our current dispensation, it is not relevant. Anyway, so deliberate thinking is simply you thinking over situations the way you want them to be, but not as they are. And that is you passing the righteous judgment. And this thing every man or woman should be able to do. You must be able to do. It is not about what people are saying. It is not about what is happening momentarily. But it is about what you want to see, what you want to experience in the future. And therefore, the judgment you pass over a particular situation is what you are creating for your life. Therefore, if you are in a situation and you call it horrible, you call it painful, and you dwell on it, you talk about it, you moan about it, you complain about it, everything that you are doing it under the influence of that particular situation. Believe it or not, that situation is going to entrench in your life. You're going to make it bigger and bigger and bigger. For you are a creator and the law of attraction is in operation. And so when the Bible says make a righteous judgment, the righteous judgment is making your judgment in light of the law. That you are a creator. What do I want to see? What do I want to enjoy? What do I want to experience in the future? And therefore, even though what I'm seeing right now is not what I want, but I'm going to think about what I want in the future instead of just concentrating on what I'm seeing right now. The reason is that everything that you are seeing in your life presently or momentarily is changing. Everything in this world is changing. Nothing is static and nothing is permanent. And therefore, you can change whatever thing that is going on in your life based on how you think and you direct your mind. And so, thinking in the right direction, thinking deliberately, being deliberate, purposeful thinking is simply the idea that was put forward by Jesus Christ in the verse, in a verse in the book of St. John. St. John chapter 7, verse 24. That judge not by the appearances, but make righteous judgment. So you got to be intelligent, you got to be wise, and wake up to the fact that you are a creator. You are creating your life. But so long as we are on earth here, there will always be something that will cause us to desire. So we have to expand. The universe has to expand. And the evolution of the universe must begin or must continue with the presence of a negative circumstance, a negative situation. But you will only move forward in a positive way only when you speak about the current situation in the way that you want it. And therefore, some time ago, men and women were not with cars. Someone didn't just sit down and say that, oh, it is difficult to walk across long distance. It is that we are dying. But someone thought about how he envisioned a day that in his own country, almost every average person, every man or woman will be able to afford automobile. And that was Henry Ford. And he went on to create it and gave it to his people. That is a fact. That is a righteous judgment. All those who sat down and only beat the drums about the situation made the unrighteous judgment, and therefore they couldn't do anything. And so your life is changeable. Your life circumstances are controllable. But you must only work on the principle, on the premises that you will think and think only what you want to think. And so bringing in the character of Jesus Christ once more. Jesus Christ knew very well that it was a Sabbath day. The general thing, the normal thing was that no one was supposed to work. But as someone who is a deliberate thinker, who is a deliberate creator and created his own realities, he went on to teach in the temple against the rules. You got to break rules. You got to break rules in order for you to move forward. There are a lot of things that have been handed down to us that are not helping us. They are impeding our progress. But so long as you hold on to them, they will drag you down. But you must be able to rise up and think and speak in opposition to that. And as you do that, you create a new thing and give it to the world. Jesus Christ has given a new way of life and gave it to the world. Not because he is more than any other race. Even Jesus himself said it, that whatever he was doing, we will be able to do it if only we believe in what he was doing. And to believe in what Jesus was doing is to believe in deliberate and purposeful thinking. Make the righteous judgment. Always make the righteous judgment. Present and current circumstances, situations are illusions. They are passing. And as a matter of fact, they are something that you have already cooked in the past and is being brought to you momentarily. Therefore, if you don't want to repeat the same dinner, the same dish for your dinner, this dish that you took at lunch, if you don't want to repeat it for dinner, then don't cook it. Whatever you are going through right now, if you don't want to see it in your life in the future, near or a distant future, then stop thinking about it. Make the right choice. Make the right decision to think about only what you want to think about. Think about only what you want to think about. And invoking the words of Wallace Wattle once again, that to think what you want to think about is to think the truth, regardless of appearances, regardless of appearances. So you want to be this, you want to be rich, you are poor right now. You should be able to speak in terms of riches, but not poverty. But so long as you are classifying yourself, you wholly and willingly accept the fact, accept the notion that you are poor, you are this, you are that, you are that. Yes, you are cooking your own life. You are making a very unrighteous judgment because you are looking at circumstances presently and passing judgment. You are being influenced by the circumstances right now. But that is not the truth. The circumstances you want to enjoy must be created by you over these circumstances. And that's how we evolve. So when you are in a negative situation and you deliberately think over it and create the opposite, the solution comes to move you higher. And that means you have evolved. And one person evolved in any circumstance, in any situation, the universe entirely has evolved or has expanded. That is how everything is done in this world, in this universe. And therefore, this is the time that you're going to be deliberate. You're going to be deliberate. Think purposefully. There are a lot of things that are going on in our lives. There are a lot of things that surrounds us, that gives us worry, scare, fear. It scares us. It instills fear in us. This is where you go to be a deliberate thinker and rise above it, even though what I'm going through right now is not what I want. It's not the best. But I know that I am the creator of my own realities. And therefore, I am going to take control of my mind and only make the right judgment about this situation. I am seeing myself to be the greatest person in the world. I am seeing myself to be the richest, one of the richest person in the world. And therefore, I live and daydream in this situation. And as you do that, you will become eventually. But the more you keep on saying, oh, I am poor, we are this, people should come and help us, people should do this, and then you accuse people who are already successful, then you know that you are entrenching that situation in your life. And that is how men and women has entrenched poverty and lack in our societies. You do not have to face the reality, but you have to create the reality. You are here to create reality, but not to face it. The current reality is to help you to desire, to have a desire for something. And then once you desire, dwell upon the desire and let it happen in your life. If once you position yourself in this way, once you make your mind, all the forces in the universe, the law of attraction and all the laws in the universe will conspire to bring all the people that are needed, all the circumstances, things that are needed for your dream to come true, for your desire to come to pass. That is a fact. You do not have to know it. You do not have to know how this is going to happen. Yours is to believe. Yours is to hold the desire and believe. And so belief is simply, or faith, having faith in something is simply, looking at what you are seeing right now in the opposite way. Believing that this is passing. So when it comes, tell yourself, this too shall pass. It is not here permanently. And also that is why the Bible says that our present moment afflictions are but for a moment. They are not here, they are not with us forever. You see. And so be a deliberate thinker. And that is what Jesus Christ outlined in the book of St. John, chapter 7, verse 24. That make the right choices. Make the right choices. Judge not by the appearances. Do not look at the current situation. Do not consider the current situation as the entirety of life. It is something that was good for you in the past. And you have the power and the ability, the capability to change it. And that is by thinking over it in a different way. You say. And so deliberate thinking is not anything that someone has to, cajole you. Someone has to beg you to actually go be a deliberate thinker. It's for your own good. But the universe will respond to you until you get this, and take lessons and take the deliberate actions and begin to entertain the right thoughts. You keep on recreating your negative situations until you discover the truth. And so You are here as a powerful human being. All of us are here to make a mark. All of us are here to leave a sign on earth here. And that is by doing what we want to do, by thinking what we want to think and doing what we want to do. But not what the society is prescribing for us. What society is prescribing for us is all news. And it is just the inclination of other people who think they are in higher positions. But what you feel, what you think and feel within you should be the guide that you must follow. So long as we are all of us on this earth here, everything that every human being is doing is for one motive, is to achieve one purpose. The motive is to be happy, to feel good. And therefore, if you are living in your life and you are doing anything that does not serve you, that doesn't contribute to your happiness, then you got to stop. It doesn't matter whoever is recommending it for you. You got to stop because you are supposed to be happy. If you continue doing it, then you are seeking the happiness of the other person and you're seeking your own happiness. That is going against your own way of life. That is going against your own self. You see? And so you must be deliberate. You must be deliberate and make the righteous judgment, not the judgment that people are giving to you, not the judgment that society is defining for you. Everything in this world is possible. Everything in your life is possible. If you have the ability and the capability to think, dream, and believe. And once again, to bring in the words of Napoleon Hill, that whatever a mind can conceive and believe to be true, mind can achieve. Whatever you can conceive in your mind and believe and hold on unwaveringly with faith, you will achieve it. You will eventually achieve it. And that is you being a deliberate thinker, making the righteous judgment in the midst of all opposition, in the midst of all difficulties, in the midst of all challenges. You discipline yourself and will yourself that this is what I want and I am not going to quit. I'm going to hold on and think in the right way in light of the dreams that I have until it becomes a reality. And that is why you say you have made a righteous judgment. There are tons of statements in the Bible that teaches this. That teaches us even the higher truths. Unfortunately, we are only being taught to recite them, and then we recite them in the churches, or then we put the Bible down. Then we go about thinking in the negative. You are a creative being. You are in a co-creative relationship with your higher self. Your higher self thinks, and you thinks. Let your thoughts and that of your higher self be in sync. And when you do that, you feel excitement. You feel all the good and wonderful emotions that you can ever think of. And at that point, the universe and the laws in the universe, the law of attraction, arranges you and paints you all, bring people and solutions that comes to support your dreams, come to support your desire. Then it becomes a reality. That is how every good thing is created. And the same thing, that's how every bad thing is created. You'll be matched with people of the same caliber, of the same kind of thoughts and emotions. And then you co-create the situation, good or bad. And so be a deliberate thinker, make the righteous judgment. Do not accept the fact that you were born into a poor family and therefore you are poor. Do not accept the fact that you are unknown, you are nobody, because you do not have anyone in the government, you don't have anyone in public places. Do not accept the tag. Before you do not accept the tax. The fact is that you have the power and the ability to change it. Before I sign up, let me make this statement. It is a fact. If you look through the human society, human life, it is a child that grows to become an adult. When an adult grows to become a child, then that is an invention of the order of the human growth. It is the poor man that becomes a rich man. That is the normal progression. So if a rich man becomes a poor man, that is the retrogression. That is against the laws of growth. In the same way, it is the sick person that desire to become healed. When you are healthy and you fall sick, it's a reversion of the law of health or the principle of health. And so and this in every human being's life. If you are at the bottom, if you are poor, if your family is unknown, if your family is one of the despised families in the world, do not worry. Rejoice, for you have the advantage. Every rich person, every successful person was at a point at the bottom. And then they rise or they rose to where they are. And that makes your story. If a rich man makes anything great, then he has no story. But the poor man, the unknown person who has broken all these barriers and become someone, that person's story inspires. That person's story energizes people. And that is what you need to seek. And that is, you can only do this by passing the righteous judgment. And as I said, your life situations are like sticks in your hands. The good and the bad, the want and the wanted. The righteous judgment is to think of the wanted and let the unwanted go. So always be guided by this principle that you are called upon to make the righteous judgment. The righteous judgment is to think what you want to think in the appearance of all negativity. To think about what you want to be, where you want to be, what you want to achieve in the opposition of, in the midst of all opposition. And as you do, you break through and you become a great and a powerful being. That is my message for you. Now, may the overshadowing presence of God that keeps the stars in the open such that they do not fall on us, that keeps the planets in their orbits such that they do not clash with one another, lead and guide you, open your mind, illuminate you or illuminate you such that you become awakened to your indwelling powers and your role in this universe. And all of us will co-create a world and life that befits us, creating a heaven on earth here. Thank you, and God bless you. Have a beautiful day. Once again, let me remind you to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so, and help us to spread this message of empowerment, message of liberation, such that all of us will take our rightful place in the world. Do not forget again to circulate this message in your network, and we will be very thankful and grateful to your service, to you for the service and support for this project. Thank you once again, and God bless you.